What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling fantastic today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just phenomenal, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. So, the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in their placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, Chiron, wherever Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot cards reads based off our ruler here, the good old moon. Sidebar, Cancer, are you able to see the moon in Cancer? You know what? That might be something fun to do. Just like, and I know I said I'm going to get on that too, Cancer, but maybe this could be something we can do as a group. Where do you see the moon from? Send a picture of that, Cancer. That might be something fun to do. I like that, Cancer. Let's make that a thing. I'm going to, next time I see the moon, I'm going to take a picture of that, Cancer. We're going to make this a whole thing. But I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going void of courses, all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be fantastic, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Oh, maybe. There we go. Alright, Cancer, your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. I feel like you're getting a little more crystal action in there, Cancer, than normal. Hold on, I'm going to move that over a little bit. There we go. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. And Cancer, happy Venus Day. Venus is associated with Fridays. Maybe it's payday for you there, Cancer. Maybe this could be a day where we're thinking about going on a date. Maybe we're going out to maybe go appreciate some art, or maybe just the beauty just in the earth there, Cancer. This is a day where maybe you want to get yourself, maybe go take care of the body a little bit. Maybe go get a massage, or maybe go get your nails done, or maybe go treat yourself to a dinner date there, Cancer. Maybe just take yourself out. You don't gotta be anything fancy, or it could be very fancy. Cancer, get all dressed up. I'm with it. Venus approves. But yes, this is for time to do all Venusian types of things. You know, do some self care. Just Empress Day there, Cancer. At least find yourself an Empress moment. And Cancer, also we are in a waning gibbous moon in Virgo. And, you know, I like this energy, Cancer, because I feel that with the moon being in Virgo, this is going to be forming sextiles with your Cancer placements, and those are harmonious aspects. You know, I feel this is the moon inviting us kind of to get ourselves in order, kind of get things together. If you've been feeling some, because, you know, one thing I like about Virgo, and actually there's the astrologer that I have linked down in the description box had made a reference to this, and I really do, I resonate with what she was talking about there, about not just Mercury being the ruler of Virgo, but Chiron being a guardianship, or a guardian of Virgos as well. Because Chiron is that wound that we tend to all the time, but in that, there's a lot of gifts that come from that, in that healing. You know, my Chiron, you know, we're talking about maybe having Chiron in Cancer. I actually have Chiron in Cancer. That's more of Chiron's kind of a generational aspect in a sense. He spends a little bit of time in some signs, but it's more so by the house where you'll find the specific terrain that you'll need to do the healing on. Like mine's in the 12th house, so this deals with like spirituality. This can deal with, you know, kind of learning to, almost like getting into the spiritual practice and understanding something bigger than oneself, and learning that everything is all part of the experience, and that you can take any sort of lessons, any sort of things that you've gone through, and turn them into some sort of, like, take your, you know, like my stories when I talk about, you know, my struggles with, like, when I used to smoke and drink and all the things, you know, just a little bit of a party, and I was using my Leo energy for a different purpose there. But, you know, it's that type of energy when you can learn to heal from. And it is something that you take care of all the time. Is that it is a deep wound. It's an insecurity. It can lead to a lot of emotional wounds. And, it's Chiron is a delicate energy. And I feel this Virgo energy with the moon is allowing a place for you to still feel the emotions, but it's like, okay, let's be practical about this. Okay, you're feeling this. What steps can we take to get out of this? So that we can start to improve this situation. Let's start getting some results. We're getting towards this full moon in Libra. The energies are going to be asking a lot of us. So let's see what we can do, where you want to be at. It's a tougher love from the moon, but there's still that loving, I feel, message in there, Cancer. Oh, I like that. Hold on, Cancer. Think of yourself. We'll get into that in a moment. But this, I feel, as we are getting towards this full moon that full moon lunar eclipse that's going to be happening on Monday, Cancer. This is something that even just thinking about the Sabian symbols that these degree points fall on, where the sun and the moon are, they talk about this sense. There's a strong sense of individuality in both of them, but I feel it's in that individuality where we're focusing on, when we're healing, is how we're bringing that into groups. And I feel like there's this learning of understanding in that. But this Virgo energy, I feel, helps you to understand where you're wanting to grow, help you to put it into words, because Mercury deals with how we express things, how we communicate, how we reason. And I just feel this can be a very constructive energy for you here, Cancer, because it's a little, I feel this maybe could be potentially kind of tough to maybe deal with, just thinking that Mercury and Chiron are both in Aries, which form squares with our Cancer placements. And Mercury's getting ready to go retrograde soon. But I like where this retrograde is going to be here, Cancer. It's going to be a little tough for those between points of like 15 degrees and like 27 degrees of Cancer, with that Mercury retrograde kind of going back and forth there. But in Mercury and Chiron are going to be having some conversation here. Like they're going to be forming conjunction like 3 times. But we got this, Cancer. And that's why I feel this Virgo energy. And that's something too. I feel like not to be overwhelmed by all of this. When you find yourself it becoming too much, take breaks, Cancer. Again, self-care. Go void a course. Moon don't have to be void a course for you to. It's just when you're out of energy. You know what? I can't deal. I'm checking out for a little bit, and then come back to it, Cancer. And then come back with a fresh mind, with a fresh perspective. But I like this energy that's coming through there. I feel like this can, because I feel like we can really, if approached really intentionally, we can all make a wonderful use from this eclipse energy that's happening, and where there will be tests, I feel like, of course, but I feel that establishing the bonds now, finding the ways to voice and articulate needs and how we can meet each other, in that space, that middle ground, I feel like can do some great, really wonderful things going forward, and really kind of, again, strengthen some bonds, really kind of check off a lot of points there, because Pluto's involved with this energy too, forming an aspect with the moon there, so it's a lot going on. But I like this, Cancer. And if you're curious about how this energy is working in your chart there, Cancer, check out a reading with me. I have links down in the description box below. We can talk about where the moon is at, where these eclipses are happening in your chart, because that's something I feel to be very mindful of, where these new beginnings are wanting to start off there for you, Cancer. Again, so you can show up intentionally. It's not to predict what's going to happen to you. It's what's your prediction, Cancer, with what's what this energy is about. What does this strike up in you? What feelings do you resonate with you? Where do you feel this direction going? I've been working with my Uranus is transiting through my 10th house, and I've been working with that a bit more. That's been kind of a tougher one, but it's now we're getting there. We're starting to get in the flow now. I feel like Uranus is pleased with what we're doing, and so learning to work with these energies, and it's just being inquisitive. It's just like, how am I showing up? How am I walking in these energies? What am I utilizing things to my potential? Where have I maybe leaned in something? Just asking these different things, Cancer, really does, I feel like, get you in a really cool type of flow. Get you in a, when the moon's in Virgo, she's traveling usually through my first house right around this. It should be like at the end of the first house going into the second house, but she's focusing on this. There's this sense of self, that's going on, where understanding my needs and being sensitive to other people's needs as well, being able to feel that a lot more when she's traveling through the first house, and being willing to give, and just being receptive, like, oh, nurture. So, but yeah, just all that stuff you can learn about yourself there, Cancer. And yeah, all that information is down in the description box below, and also on my Instagram page. And then also, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links to them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some other readers that I really enjoy their Cancer, so definitely check them out. They're fantastic. There is a link for an astrologer like I was talking about earlier, some podcasts, some apps, some websites, just all types of goodies down there, Cancer, so definitely avail yourself of all that. But let's go ahead and get into your general energy of the day, Cancer, because I feel like there's been a lot of this, talking about collaboration, because you have the Ant Spirit here, which is a card of time to collaborate. And Cancer, I do feel that this doesn't have to be, when we hear collaboration, this doesn't just have to be in some sort of art project, let's say, for example. This could be just, hey, it's time to collaborate with your partner a bit differently. This could be, like, it's time to collaborate with my children a bit differently. It's time to collaborate with my work partners. You see what I mean? This can be a time, how are we staying in the flow of things? How are we changing? How are we growing? The environment is changing. What are we doing? Just even thinking about ants, they're always digging tunnels in the earth, and Virgo is the mutable earth sign. They are this, it's different than that kind of like mountainous energy that you kind of feel with Capricorn, or even like the earth that you feel with Taurus. Virgos and that's a fascinating concept when you think about that. You're getting into this, you have fertile ground to work with, and that's what I feel that this time to collaborate, this is a time where I feel we're getting to a place in our relationships, in our societies, in our communities, where we're needing to come together a bit more to figure out more complex puzzles that we're doing. We've been operating maybe as separate puzzle pieces, trying to be this grand picture, but when we come together and see, like, oh, your piece fits here, mine fits here, oh, we have this whole other thing that can blossom from this, and then we can do such and such with this, and then there's this bond that's formed, and then I'm taking this energy, and then now something else is attaching to this, and now I have this. And I feel like that's where this energy is trying to lead with this, excuse me, with like Pluto being Aquarius over this next 20 years. We're getting ready to wrap up this energy with like Neptune being in Pisces and all of this. We've been in a very kind of, we've been in, or at least right now, at least with most of the outer planets, in this sort of like collective energy with the Pisces, Saturn, and Neptune. Pluto again now being Aquarius, so he's going back to Capricorn here for a little bit, but I do feel that this is a time, and this, we were talking about this too, this can be a time to collaborate with or be in collaboration with source. Talking with time to get down and get busy, time to get to work. And we're in, this Aries energy. This even thing, again, where the dispositors are at. We were talking about Mercury and Chiron are in this energy. And they're going to be talking 3 times, like I was saying. So this is a time to see where maybe we can even do some healing work, where we maybe even need to tend to our known needs, need to get back in sync with the body, even Cancer. Just because Virgo can even deal with health. How are we going to get things started? When we have all this stuff that needs to, is being tended to or need to be tended to. But hold on, Cancer. Let me get your tarot cards here. Thank you, yourself. See what's going on. Oh, interesting, Cancer. So you have the Six of Wands, the Fool, and the Judgment card in reverse. And then you have the Death card and the Page of Wands upright. Now, Cancer, this Six of Wands here is, and this is something that we're looking at. We're seeing where I feel in our relationships, and I feel like we can even expand this to even maybe where we're, the place that we're at. And I understand that there are circumstances where we may need to ride out something but it's just like, what steps can we make towards this change? Because this Judgment card doesn't necessarily give me a resistance to this rebirth. It's just like, maybe I feel the Fool is giving me this, there's something here about needing to commit maybe a bit further to something here, Cancer. Because again, the Judgment is not giving me, with it being in reverse, necessarily a resistance, but it's like the Death card is this awareness of it. Maybe there's this excitement energy that's coming through here. Maybe we're feeling this need for changes. Maybe we're seeing some sort of results here, but it's just like, I don't know, Cancer. Something feels here like we're maybe afraid to pull this trigger possibly here, or I even feel for some, there could be this fear of maybe what happens if, because Pluto, the Judgment, that Judgment card, when things change, things change permanently. There's no, once it's seen, we can't unsee it. So I feel that with the Fool, that there's this trust that's needing to, or wanting to kind of come in there with maybe for some, maybe this is a conversation that's needing to be had. Maybe this I feel it could even be where maybe seeing where others have been there for you, Cancer, but maybe it's time for you to maybe even kind of take a bigger step in this. That could even be something, or vice versa, could be someone that maybe but you take that as it resonates. But I do feel like this is something where you don't necessarily have to go through this alone. There may be some actions that you'll have to take by yourself, but I feel that this is, it's like, I feel like there's a learning to trust those that are going to be there when you're not feeling on top. I feel with the Six of Wands here. And I feel too that when things get hard, that things, I feel like, balance out, Cancer. It's not, we're a Cancerian energy is a cyclical energy. So if it's, again, remembering the ebbs and flows, and we're going to get to a place here soon with the full moon that the full moon is an energy of making space for something, for letting some things go, for some things that may not be serving a purpose anymore, Cancer. And so I feel like a need to kind of look at that. And it may be that we maybe are too quick to be of service to someone, to expend yourself, or this could be upholding the boundaries that you set, or this could be any sort of thing, whatever that's. But I feel like there's something here that's just wanting some attention, that's wanting to be transformed. And I feel like it could lead to something new, Cancer, with the Fool, but we have to trust in that process, in where, and allow that path to open up, in a sense, to make that possibility happen. We may not be able to see the big picture at the moment, but just being on that frequency, absolutely, just being on that frequency, and you get the sun, Cancer. Hold on, Cancer, let me get the rest of these. All right, Cancer. All right, so you have the Three of Wands, the Queen of Moons, one of our cards for me, Cancer, the Two of Stars, the Sun, and the Ace of Stars in reverse. And then you have the Ten of Stars upright, Cancer. And this is what I mean, with the Sun, we may have troubles sometimes seeing where things are going sometimes, Cancer. But I feel that foundation, I feel there's a rooting your foundation in the unknown, in the uncertainty of where things are going. Not to let the fear of the unknown keep you from planting seeds, Cancer, from starting new opportunities, with the Ace of Stars being here in reverse. And I feel that there is some sort of... The Queen of Moons is giving me this energy of maybe there's this confidence things that's needing to be worked with. This ant spirit is something busy. And ant spirits, like Pluto, are digging beneath the earth. And I feel like there's something where... And I'm seeing these ants kind of digging down to things that the sun can't breach, or that the sunlight is trying to get to try to maybe see where there are some, that kind of Plutonian stuff, sort of some sort of unconscious programming things, bringing stuff from the subconscious and those unconscious to this consciousness, so that we can start having, I feel, more, or realize that we have more sway in certain decisions than maybe we realize there, Cancer. And the Three of Wands, this is giving me this energy of like it's a long road for that, kind of like with the Six of Wands, but I do feel like there are options and ways to approach this. Whatever this healing is that's kind of going through with the Queen of Moons, whatever sort of adjustment thing that we're trying to change, maybe this is some sort of realization and we're kind of on the fence, even with the Two of Swords, about just, again, what to do next. But the Ten of Stars to me is to maybe just like write this stuff down even. First, when in doubt, work with Source. That's a great start. Start within, see what things come up for you, and then I feel in that we start getting the answers. We start trusting more, and paths start opening up for you, Cancer. So and this could be too, if you are getting into some sort of creative project. I feel that, of course there are fears, there are this, is there that, what ifs. Well, what ifs are, Uranus, the Fool energy, I feel, is a reminder that all the possibilities, I feel like, are happening at once. It's all right there. And when we stay true to ourselves, things open up. I feel like we just kind of work with that true self, with what we want there, kind of follow that youthful Page of Wands energy, that inner child, then things start opening up there, Cancer. And then, let's get some advice from Mercury and Chiron, see what's going on with this. All right, Cancer. Look at herself. Last little bit here. All right, so you have the Six of Swords and the Seven of Wands in reverse. And then you have the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Moons upright here, Cancer. And let's switch back over. Because it's interesting, Cancer. It's like the Six of Swords in this Fool card. It's like, I feel there's something inside. Because when we resist that, Uranus energy is a very interesting one, you know, because that's the side part of our charts that are wanting us to be free, you know, that wanting to live that authentic self in order to, you know, wants us to shine bright, you know, sun upright and have your wishes come true. But there's something here about trusting that with the Six of Swords. There's something that's holding you back, Cancer, that it may be time again to work with, to see where we may not have been protecting your energies, where there may have been maybe either some criticisms even, because the Seven of Wands is an interesting energy. It's energies that I feel, and this could be certain ideas, this could be certain things that we watch, or something that I feel kind of makes you second guess yourself, like we were talking with the Two of Swords being here. And I feel that this is something with the Nine of Wands, we're asking for more strength, Cancer, with what this is a time to kind of get to work. This year has been feeling so far, it's not one I feel where we're hustling, you know, and grinding, but we're finding, like, literally really kind of finding that work smart, play smart kind of balance. Because you know, we're still in a very rich energy of working with Source, with Neptune being in Pisces, and Neptune's actually getting ready to. She's been kind of flirting with my Chiron here for a little bit, kind of forming this trine. But you know, we have this little bit of Neptune in Pisces energy left, and where we can really be in connection with Source. So if you especially got some later degrees in Cancer, really enjoy this last little bit of energy here, because things are going to shift, they're going to change, and in a way when the energies don't necessarily go away, they're not in the focus anymore, because now we got something new coming to a mix, a new expression of energy. So this is a time I feel to really get in, find where the flow is at with everyone, find where the flow is at in your environment. And it's just like, and I know, like, again, things take time, you know, ants don't just rush into stuff, they build and store and stuff. But I do feel this is a time to start thinking, getting the wheels cranking. What are some next steps? You know, where do I want to go? Start really making some goals here, you know, whatever that's looking like. They can even be a little foggy right now, but at least we're going towards some sort of direction. So, but yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that there, Cancer. A little something to think about. But if you like that, Cancer, if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Cancer, if you know someone who's been maybe in need to, I don't want to say in need, but it's like something we're looking at again where things aren't working, where pieces may not be fitting, and trying to, or like in like maybe even finding a new fit somewhere, where Cancer may have been again trying to force some themselves somewhere where they're not. It's interesting energy. And even and I didn't even think to say this, Cancer. This ant spirit is magician energy. That's manifestation. You know, where is it that this is time to really start cooking, Cancer? So, and then subscribe there. What energies we got here? You Queen of Moons. Hit that bell button to get notified when I release videos each day. And then last little bit there, Cancer. Absolutely. You know, after we get done checking your chart, maybe we get to break down your Chiron wound a bit more there, Cancer. Get to understand that, where we can maybe do some healing, because yeah, with where mine at, astrology has been a big help, and tarot has been a helping kind of understanding. Because I got some, it's very interesting how what's going on with my stuff's going on in my 12th house is very, yeah, that was, I think I had an interesting experience in another life, but yeah, after we get done checking your chart there, Cancer, getting your understanding your placements, come on over to my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do weekly videos talking about the transits and when they're in exact energies and how we can work with that, how that may be affecting you. I do monthly ones, talk about where the sun is at, where the planets are, and how you can work with the energies. And then I do, and those ones are a bit more, I mean, they're all general, but the weekly ones are more kind of for the soul tribe. The monthly ones are for each zodiac sign, and then the yearly ones are for the specific zodiac signs as well. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, Cancer. So I can get you out of here. And you got the Three of Moons in reverse, Cancer. And so I feel that this may be something here, Cancer, where there's some energies that I feel like aren't vibing anymore, that may not be in resonance. Some ideas change, some feelings change. The Three of Moons is one of our cards, Mercury in Cancer. And so maybe how we felt about something a while ago, how we, where that space was, is not doing it like it was. And now it's time for either things to be freshened up, or, where can we change, where can we grow, or we may need to change it altogether. No, that might be a conversation that's may need to not necessarily be rushed to be had or anything, Cancer, but maybe just need to be thought about, and see where is that taking me towards, because Pluto wants us as a collective to come into our power, and I feel in order to do that, when you're thinking about Aquarius and working towards that future, the future we're already kind of in, we're walking towards that energy, but a part of that comes with who are the people around us. Are they motivating that growth? Are they any sort of reflection of what I see my future as? Whether that be the actual thing that I'm doing, or there's a certain maybe style or ambition or something that is there. I'm a big fan of, I love Virgo frequency. I like Capricorn, like Earth energy, like because I don't personally have a lot of placements in Earth. I have a lot of fire, and fire, water, and some air. But yeah, Earth is one. I have like a little bit, but enough to not think yourself. And my son is in conflict with one of them. So it's like this. Oh, we get two cards today, Cancer. But my point with that is, it's sometimes you have to find energies that motivate you, and maybe you can't be around, and I'm just speaking energetically, maybe you have a lot of water and you need someone who can help kind of ground you a little bit, and you need to be with someone who's a little earth, or maybe you find that people with a lot of fire are a bit too much and maybe you're just like, you deal with them in chunks. It is, and then it's understanding that and respecting that about yourself. I know a Sagittarius who is a treat. All my Leo placements are pleased, but there are certain parts that my Cancer placement are just like, okay, but I love but we both have our moons in Gemini, so there's this. It's beautiful. It works out. But we were able to have our differences and still respect each other to move forward. We can still work cohesively too. So it's not like it's just, but yeah, Cancer, just something to think about with the people that you're around. It makes a really big difference. That's even been something that I've been learning here over this almost kind of like last 6 months or so. But Cancer, your oracle cards here. You have the Follow the Stream card here, and look at old Queen Cups. You have the Mother Saltwater. So I feel like she's been popping up quite a bit. But this Follow the Stream is dedication, trust, future rivers and oceans. And then the Mother of Saltwaters is passion, wild love, open your heart and let love in. Cancer, with this time to collaborate, I feel if you open your heart to the things that you're wanting to do, to make more space for that, I feel like, I feel when it comes to obligations, you're good at meeting those, Cancer. Now let's meet the wants, the desires, the passions that you have with that same amount of urgency, you know, and make that and find a way to make both a priority. We can be constructive, but we can also take a break, and be where we can trust that things are going to be okay. The things that we dedicate our time to is not a waste of time, especially if it's something that raises your vibration, that gets you towards where you want to be. This could be just doing a hobby with something. This could be maybe changing a career. This could be changing a location. This could be changing a relationship. But I do feel that we are flowing into future rivers, and we need to trust that when things feel, and again, it's not necessarily maybe need to do something super radical with the Pluto and the Uranus energy coming through, but it could be where it's just something that warrants an invitation for a conversation. And how do we feel about it? Test it. Now at least now we've both seen it, and we can't ignore it, but you know how that usually goes. So, and if you have something that you want to start up, Cancer, maybe you're wanting to do like a podcast with someone, maybe you're wanting to start a running club with some people or group or whatever this is. Again, allow that to go for it. Time to collaborate. This is a time, and even for the next 20 years, to socialize, to get out there a bit more. Speaking of Virgo energy, I just met someone with their sun in Virgo yesterday, and they were talking about how they hadn't been out socializing, but you could have fooled me. You want to talk about an expert socializer? Sun in Virgo, Moon in Aquarius, and rising in Virgo. Really, just sharp, social, intelligent. So it's a time to get out there and meet, and it's just like, and be open, Cancer. Be open to whomever you run into, because you never know who you run into. But all right, Cancer, I think I'm going to leave that there. So you stay safe out there with all this energy, and we're getting ready to, in the next couple of months, speaking of collaboration, Jupiter's getting ready to enter into Gemini here soon. It can be, things are about to be talking, but people going to be talking away, Cancer. So this can be a time to not just talk the talk, but walk the walk as well, but get in the mindset of what that's going to look like, how you're going to show up in that going forward. That's what I feel this energy is getting us geared up for. And keep eyes on the moon, Cancer. This is, we're getting ready to get into this eclipse soon. Be thinking about where you want to make space. Maybe we're releasing any sort of self-conscious fears, honoring the part that got you to where you want it to be. It served a purpose, but now it's time for it to let go so that we can start something new. Or maybe this is a certain habit that we're letting go of. Maybe we're mourning a relationship that we never got the closure that you needed. Whatever that is, allow yourself to free up, so let that weight kind of fall off. I feel you're just getting lighter, Cancer. So be thinking about that over this eclipse, and how that healing, Chiron energy happens, and how that creates opportunities for great growth. And I will catch you, Cancer, on the next one. Oh, I'll catch you on the next one, Moon Day, for the eclipse, Cancer.